Marvel's Shang-Chi is heading into its second weekend, and all eyes are on this film. If it manages to maintain first, it means Marvel is seeing more success than anybody foretold. And the good news is, they're going to win the second weekend according to every single analyst out there. So let's talk about the impressive numbers, and what this means in the long run. So before we get into this, let's just get the obvious out of the way. Analysts could be wrong. They were literally wrong the first weekend. So for all we know, these numbers could be way off base, and this film could literally drop 95% weekend over weekend, and now it's shifted over to a bomb. I mean, it could happen. Probably not a chance it's going to, but you never know how people are going to react. So when we go into this second weekend, we have to look at the 3-day take, which was 75.4 million, which places the film about 45 million ahead of where most analysts placed it, and the 4-day weekend was 94.5 million, meaning astronomically ahead of where everybody thought it would be, which honestly was great, as we covered. Now going into this second weekend, there is some new films coming out, but again, we don't know what could come out up top. And the interesting choice is that there is still pretty decent competition and new films coming out, which will obviously impact the full pull of the film's box office take, but most people are anticipating a standard Marvel and film drop weekend over weekend, meaning 55 to 65% is the expected take. And most analysts are looking at it right now saying it's going to open up first this upcoming second weekend with about 25 to 35 million. Some are saying it could go higher, some are saying it could go lower, because if we look at the trend that's been out there over the course of everything releasing, it's been about a 70 to 80% drop for a second weekend for every film that's come out. So we just have no idea what's going to happen. Now, if Shang-Chi this weekend makes around 30-ish million, give or take 3 million up or down, I mean, it's another huge victory. It will remain first place. It will have a steady weekend over weekend typical drop pre-pandemic that's in line with most MCU films and most films in general. So this honestly will be interesting to look at, because as we know, the second and third weekend are going to be a huge deciding factor on pretty much every comic book film coming out, especially Eternals, Spider-Man, and everything else. So all eyes are now on this film more so than even the first weekend, which shocked many, because this weekend could literally dictate if moves are made in Hollywood that will affect everybody's schedule. So we'll talk more about this, but honestly, this film has just broke through so many barriers that I will not be surprised if they say, 25 and we hear like 35. I mean, it's not going to surprise anybody.